Get ready to cruise into a world of country music and lively conversation with The Dave Roush Show. Exclusively on Cruisin' Country Radio every Monday at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. Join host Dave Roush as he brings you the best of country tunes along with engaging interviews, entertaining segments, and a whole lot of fun. Whether you're a diehard country fan or just looking for a good time, tune in and The Dave Roush Show be your ultimate destination for Monday evenings. Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to another exciting episode of The Dave Roush Show. I'm your host, Dave Roush, and today we have a very special guest joining us. He's a legendary guitarist who played with the one and only Carl Perkins and is now making his waves in production world with Highland House Production. Please give a warm welcome to the incredibly talented Wes Henley. Wes, it's an honor to have you on the show, and how are you doing, man?
Thank you so much. I'm doing great, Dave. It's really good to talk to you again. It's been a few years. We did your bit.
Yeah, it has. Thank you for that. It went to number 12 on the chart.
Yes, indeed. And well-deserved. Great record. Great song.
I like it. Yeah, your work and Chuck and I, it was cool. So what's been going on lately? What are you doing, man?
Well, I recently sold my studio building, but I've moved all my equipment in home. I had a couple of extra rooms at home. I really utilized the studio at home, and I'm still going to do mixing and mastering and some overdose here and there, but probably won't be making records back more. I'll do the track more else and bring it here to make that. And I'm working a lot of my day job. I a couple of years ago was hired by our Attorney General here as an investigator in Tennessee, and my law enforcement career continues to advance, and I'm enjoying it. The thing I love most about that is that I'm able to actually get this community that has provided me so much, that provided me with a great music career. And of course, this time that I worked with Carl for most of the 8 or 9 years, that I toured with Carl, and of course we were friends for 20 years. Doing that, and the support I had in the entire community really helped me to have a great music career.
That's amazing. I can't imagine what it would be like, it kind of being like with Elvis, right? Carl Perkins, wow.
Well, Carl was a really laid-back, mellow sort of guy. But when we went overseas, he would literally shine because the crowds there, his time had come and gone here in the States to a degree. While he was so successful and playing to sold-out venues, the venues weren't as big as they used to be. But when we went to, anytime we would go to Europe, it was as if Elvis had entered the building and was indeed, Carl was one of the most popular and remained one of the most popular artists touring Europe, even up until his death. It's my understanding that Elvis never really toured. I think the furthest he ever went from home touring was Hawaii. He never went over to Europe. Third time over there in the Opry country. It's my understanding he never performed over there, and I just can't imagine the crowds he would have had.
Oh man!
Because we were received like royalty over there every time we went. Wonderful.
That's amazing. We have a band here called Frad, and the female singer, it's her band, and her first name is Frad, and they got invited to go to London, and they're leaving here in a couple of days to go over there, and I'm like, you guys have so much fun. They're a cover band, but I said, you guys are going to have a blast,
Wow. Hey, well, I hope they get a little time to see some of the sites, too, because London's a very, very old city, and it has a lot of great history and a lot of really fun, touristy things to do, and museums and so forth that are really, really fun.
My oldest son lives in Finland, and the first time we went over to Finland, we went to Sweden first, and my brother-in-law has a cousin there, and we stayed at his house. They're both teachers. He's a retired teacher, and his wife is a grade school teacher. And this guy had everything lined out. We saw every church, every museum, everything. It was just amazing. In 5 days, we probably walked 200 miles.
Yeah, I love Scandinavia. One of my favorite places on earth is North. Traveling with Carl, I get to see a lot of the world. We went to Europe, 2 or 3 dozen times. I lost count. We were in Europe every time I turned around. And one of my favorite places still is Norway. It's absolutely beautiful country.
Oh, yes. I love, Finland. It's beautiful, but boring because if you're in Helsinki or Vasa or, the Tampere, the cities that are big, they're hopping and going. But you get out into the sticks and it's just that. Sticks, forest, farm, field.
Well, that's what I like of it, honestly. I like peace and quiet on a mountain, looking at really beautiful mountains. Rugged country up north like that really, really appeals to me.
Right. So you've been all over the world. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I've traveled a lot. I had a great music career. And I doubt that I'll ever tour anymore for a couple of reasons. I'm I'm ready to slow down. And my new career keeps me really grounded here at home. I have an awful lot of responsibility and things that should be done. It's extremely rewarding me to be able to actually help our community, and especially our kids work in the child support division.
Well, thank you for your service.
Well, I appreciate that. I think you might.
My wife.
I had several great jobs in law enforcement, but I really think this one will be the most rewarding.
Absolutely. Anytime you can help a community, that's where it's at. My wife and I are both ex-military. She retired. I did not retire in the military, but it touches a place in your soul when somebody says thanks for your service. It's kind of a hard question to answer because it was our job, and it's like your job, And somebody says thank you for your service. You're like, it's my honor, is all I can say.
It is. It's my honor, and it's nice to hear that. But honestly, it was more like a calling for me to get into this overwhelming feeling. That look, I'm a reasonably smart guy, and there are some skills I have besides music that I think could be useful and perhaps utilized in a way that would benefit our community in a law enforcement capacity. I had no idea what. I didn't know if I actually wanted to be a police officer or work in some court area of law enforcement. Yeah, I ended up going to police academy at the age of 58, a bunch of 22-year-olds, and to brag on myself just a little bit, I graduated third in the class.
Nice.
And really excelled at so many things. And along the years, I kind of specialized in working gang cases and gang-related stuff because our communities are just infested with gangs. And
really,
yeah, we have a huge gang problem in Tennessee.
Wow.
And firearms, specialized firearms and combating illegal gang activity. And the illegal gang activity includes a lot of stuff. It includes sex trafficking, drugs, some violent things, illegal firearms. It includes a lot of things.
Yeah, it's crazy down here where I'm at in Ajijic. I think the crime rate is 12, honestly. It is a place where, we were talking earlier, and I said there's a lot of cartel here, but this is an expat community, and a lot of Canadians, a lot of Americans, and a lot of happy people. And if they start hurting the Americans and Canadians down here, their lifestyle goes away. So it's kind of a really nice, safe zone. You wouldn't think it, but I had a entertainment manager call me the other day, and he says, "Dave, what's it like down there?" I said, "Well, come on down and check it out," because it's hard to explain. It's like paradise, but it's a different lifestyle. If you're coming down here because it's cheap, it's not. Rent's not cheap. The only thing that's really inexpensive here is going out to eat. Yeah, and that's it. Groceries are the same as in the States. Fuel here is, like $7 a gallon.
Wow.
Yeah, it's 6 pesos per liter. There's 3.7 liters per gallon. Do the math. Yeah, I know everybody's in the States are going, "Hey man, this gas is safe." And go elsewhere in the world. Europe is crazy. So I understand that you wrote a book last year.
Well, yes, I did. I wrote a book. Finally, people have been suggesting I do it for a long time. I finally sat down and started carving away at it, and then I couldn't quit. So, every day I would spend at least 2 or 3 hours of my day working, going through old photographs and refreshing my memory with some of the other folks at some of these events, stuff that I talked about. And it's sort of, once I got done with it, I sat back and looked at it and outlined the whole thing. And I thought, I never really gave it a great deal of thought, but my career has been full of a lot of really unique experiences that led me to where I am now with a second career in law enforcement. As an example, I grew up in Chicago.
Damn.
And one of the stories I tell in the book is I was 8 years old, and a friend of mine and I went to visit his friend. We rode our little bicycles over there to his dad operated a tavern, and they lived upstairs above the tavern. And we called up to our friend, "Hey, Johnny, come on out. We're going to ride bikes up." And about that time, we heard 8 loud bangs, and the door flies open of the bar, and Johnny's dad falls back on his back, and he's got 8 big holes in his white shirt. And these two guys step over him, and they get in a car and drive off.
Well, that was a heck of an 8-year-old experience.
Yeah, it was. It was a little bit terrifying, but I say this in the book. I was trying to be a good witness. They never threatened us, or we were just kids. I figured they thought we were just harmless. But I remember trying to watch and take note of everything I saw, because I knew from watching TV that when I reported it, I'd be questioned about details. I tried to take in as much as I could, but that was my first dead body and my first experience with I guess what you would call gang violence.
Wow. So what TV programs were on at that time when you were 8 years old that inspired you? The cop shows.
I don't know, Dragnet,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Joe Friday.
The TV shows didn't really inspire me to be I didn't get the bug to be a cop, like I said, until I was 58 years old.
Right. Yeah, but it sounded like you kind of had the intelligence right there.
I think it was always in the back of my mind somehow this might be a career or something, but I really never thought about it anymore.
Nice.
Once I was adult, we would play in Clark, Tennessee, and finish our gig, and I went out truck, get my guitar case, take them back in, put my guitars away. We were going to load up the truck and drive away. And I heard a commotion behind me, and I turned around just in time to see these two guys throw a third guy through a big glass door. And of course, it shattered and broke in a million pieces and cut him all to pieces. And I just instinctively grabbed one of the packing clips from our foot stuff and ran over there to where he fell down in the parking lot and threw a quilt and sort of held him. And I knelt down and put his head in my lap and just sort of held him. Now, somebody else called 911, and the guy just looked up at me and said, "Why'd they do this to me?"
Oh, my. Wow.
The guy bled to death. He bled to death right there in my arm. When you lose an artery, like, he was bleeding from everywhere. I was trying to hold pressure and trying to rest him up in the quilt pressure. I just couldn't, because everywhere I would put pressure would just cause something.
Oh, my.
Futile. And then later, he was gone.
It takes about 4 minutes to bleed out.
The only thing he said is, "Why'd they do this to me?" And he said symptoms and
he's already in the shock. Yeah.
It was really sad. It was a horrible experience. But again, I think that helped to sort of steer me where I needed to be. I was witnessing some things like that. And they're traumatic experiences, but somehow they never really bothered me like they might bother most people. I mean, it didn't make me afraid, or it didn't make me feel sick, or any of those negative things. I'm not to say I liked it. I did, you don't like watching somebody, but it didn't turn me away from what I needed to do. I needed to help this person somehow.
Right.
I just instinctively knew that. And each time that I was faced with a bad situation, was just the attitude I always took, is I'm going to try to help whoever this is in trouble.
Nice. In service work, I was a EMT paramedic for 10 years at a volunteer fire station in a little town outside Vegas, and I have that same. I have the compassion, but the trauma does not get to me. I've seen my share of dead bodies in auto accidents, and it doesn't get to me. I think firefighters, paramedics, and law enforcement have a different. They're wired differently than a lot of people. That,
yeah, I think so.
It's just.
Yeah, you certainly can't let that stuff keep you from doing what you got to do.
No.
You have to compartmentalize or something, or you'll never be.
Absolutely. I rode bucking horses and bulls, and I was a bullfighter, rodeo clown bullfighter. So I grew up, started at 13. So I was around all that crazy action. And, when I got sober 25 years ago, a good friend of mine that I worked for, she said, "You need to go in service." So I volunteered at the fire department. Yeah. So continuing with your book, I'm intrigued.
Well, it's full of good stories, I think, and it's a pretty quick read. It's available on Amazon. If anybody is interested and would like to get one, all you have to do is go to Amazon and search my name, Wes Henley, WESHENLEY, and it should be like the first thing that pops in.
Nice. Well, there you go, guys. Help out Wes, purchase his book and check out. It's pretty much an autobiography, correct?
Yeah, mostly about my music career and eventually how I transitioned into a law enforcement career. And then I had a pretty charmed music career. I got to play with almost all of my heroes, mostly because playing with Carl. That really kicked open an awful lot of doors for me.
And are you from Jackson or there in your...
Yeah, I was born here in Jackson, Tennessee. I grew up in Chicago. I'm the true south side of Chicago, 31st and Halsted. A lot of people say that they're from Chicago when they're really from the suburbs. They've never been inside the city.
Right.
The city is a different world.
I've been downtown Chicago.
Yeah. I'm thankful that I grew up there, but I would never want to move back there because I really loved Jackson. Jackson was always home. Something about Tennessee always felt like home. We would come down here in the summertime and visit relatives and stuff with my parents when I was a little kid. And I never really wanted to go back to Chicago. I would tell them every time, I said, one day when I graduate high school, I'm going to move back to Tennessee. And a week after I graduated, I packed my little parents off and came back here and have lived here ever since. And that was 1973. I've been here 51 years now.
Yeah, don't date yourself.
It's home, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I was born and raised in Arizona, but with rodeo and I went everywhere, all over. And so I've been lots of different countries and mostly all the states, including Alaska. Yeah. So music.
Those experiences, you know, allowed me to play and perform with and meet a lot of really great singers. In these last few years, I've been thinking more that way, trying to expose some of the people that I've known and remind people of some of the things that I've been lucky enough to do and be a part of. Because some of it is pretty darn amazing for a kid from grew up in the south side of Chicago in one of the poorest Italian, Irish, Lithuanian neighborhoods in the world, you know?
Now there's a mix. Yeah, that's amazing. And I'm honored to be able to get to chat with you because, you know, you are who you are. But all the fame aside, I mean, just the person that you are and how you give back to the community and Highland House and how that has helped project lots of people, especially Cruising Country's Artist of the Month, Justin Wright and the Dirty Strings, Peas Out of Your Stable, right?
Got a #1 song now.
Yeah, and he's getting ready to cut another one out.
First time at that, yeah.
That's pretty good. You know, everybody hopes that'll happen, and you know, it did for Justin. And Justin and I have become really good friends since I've been on the radio doing this, and we talk probably every day. And hey, Justin, I know you're listening. Shout out and
absolutely. Hello to Justin, and thanks for listening.
Yeah, he said this was probably he wouldn't miss this interview. He admires you a lot and appreciates what you've done for him. And once again, you know, Justin, way to go. He's got a great band.
Good talent. Yeah, good talent. Great songwriter. It's a very cool song. Very hooky and very current, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. He's got that, you know, outlaw.
Songs, I understand you want to play some of the things that I've recorded lately.
Absolutely. The first one I have spun up ready to go is, was it Etta James, I think?
Originally, yeah.
Yes.
Did at last. The young lady that's singing it, a couple of years ago, I put together, along with the University of Memphis professor Jeremy Tubbs, we had the idea to put together a CD of jazz, blues, and pop standards and redoing a bunch of great old songs that are known by everybody the world over, really popular songs. That's why they call them standards. You know, they're the ones that everyone else judges their song by. And the lady that's singing at last is named Larice Lanier, and she has the most incredible voice, and she has some really decent pedigree as well. She went to Berkeley School of Music on scholarship.
Nice.
She's that good. And she has even sung with the Metropolitan. She has sung all over the world. She sings in 3 or 4 different languages. She's simply amazing. Bless her heart. She's real sick right now. So let's everybody have a good thought about this fine lady while they listen to her sing this great class tune and laugh.
Without any further ado.
Let's come along. My lonely days are over. And if life is like a song, oh yeah, at night, skies above are blue. My heart was wrapped up in clover. The night I looked at you, I found a dream that I could speak to, a dream that I can call my own. I found a thrill to press my cheek to, a thrill that I never know. Oh, you smile, oh, and then the spell was cast, and here we are in heaven. For you are my I found a dream that I could speak to, a dream that I can call my own. I found a thrill to press my cheek to, a thrill that oh, you smile, you smile. Oh, the spell was cast, and here we are in heaven. For you are mine, and
All right. Well, I was told that nobody could hear that, so I'm going to go to a different way to do that. I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna play it over if you don't mind.
Yeah, I don't mind. Let's just run through them if you want, so we have time to hear them.
Yeah.
Are we, you and I live broadcast right now, our conversation?
You're live broadcast right now. You bet.
Well, I like you, Dave. You're thinking about quality, man.
Yeah, I got a text from Justin. He said, Mandy said she can't hear the song, so and I tried something different. So without further ado, I'm going to play it last again so everybody can hear it. I heard it perfect, but let's try it this way, okay?
Great.
Here we go.
was cast, and here we are in heaven. For you are mine.
All right. Well, Mandy, how did that sound? She texted, Justin said, I can't hear it at all. And you know what? You're right. I'm a sound engineer too, and it's all about the quality.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you taking those steps to repair that, because I'm very proud of that album. It's something I worked really hard on, and I've produced over 200 CDs, and I feel like that's my best work ever. And one of the things I'm so very proud of, that song, for example, was recorded with the rhythm section from the Memphis Jazz Orchestra.
Nice.
Most of the tracks on the album are done with those guys. And I did it the old-fashioned way with real instruments and microphones. And I wasn't using any kind of samples or anything. That, for example, that bass guitar on that's a real upright bass guitar. It's not a keyboard.
Sweet.
And yeah, and real drums and things. So that it has that really organic mood. Like if you had walked into a jazz club in New York in the 50s, that's what it would sound like. I
love it. I love the way you brought it up to an ending, and then it fell down, and you brought it back up and really finished strong on it. I was like, and your guitar work is amazing.
Well, thank you. We took it to church on the end there.
Yeah, you did. I was like, I thought the song was over. It was climbing to the crescendo, and then it just you brought it back up again, brought it back to life like resurrection.
Yeah. So what do you want to play next? Let's keep it rolling, man.
Yeah. Well, the next one I have ready is it's an old Sinatra tune. I think a lot of people have done it. It's "Fly Me to the Moon."
All right. Yeah. This is Blair. She's got the most incredible voice. She doesn't sing this style of music, but she probably ought.
Right. That's amazing when they just surprise you. Well, Wes,
yeah, she's wonderful.
Let's check it out.
Let me see what's your biggest me with song. Let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true. In other words, I love you. the door. In other words, please be true. In other words, I love you.
Sweet. I like that rendition. Great. Yeah.
It's quite arranged. We put our own little C.
Nice. Yeah. Well, I like it when you make it your own.
Yeah, which one's been? We're glad to get out, right?
This next song, when I heard it, I was like, wow, I who have nothing. What a song.
Give me these things. That's some of the mentioned earlier. Let me ask let me do a thing to the nervous me. For greatest. We did this arrangement in the old Tom Jones recording it. It's a sad song, but it's such an incredibly powerful voice form that you can really sort of feel the pain. You listen closely, it's there. But he did a fantastic job. He's got a phenomenal. Really glad to hear him.
Well, cool. Let's listen to it. Okay, here we go. I who have nothing.
Adore you and want you so, but I'm just a no one with nothing to give you but all. I love you. He buys you diamonds, bright, sparkling diamonds. But believe me when I say that he can give you the world. He'll never love you the way I love you. He can take you any place he wants, to fancy clubs and restaurants. But I can only watch you with my nose pressed up against the window pane. I have nothing. I have no. Just watch you go dancing by, wrapped in the arms of somebody else with darling his hand. Who loves you? I love you. I love you. I love you.
Wow, what an amazing song.
What's this
Right. Yeah.
one is a little different than the other tunes. Also, the same piano player from the Memphis Extras, named J.T. Page. He played the piano. Jeremy Thompson did drums. Great Andy Dixon played bass.
Wow.
So the other instrumentation, J.T. also did string. He did string arrangement, the illustration, and then I went in and added the timpanis, all the brass, woodwinds, all those other instruments. It's not key, so it's kind of up.
Right. You're coming in kind of muffled. Yeah, I don't know if it's a connection we have or what it is, but
Your piece.
yeah, a little. Well, let's go into another one, and this is a song for you. I believe Elton John did it. I said a song for you.
This tune is one of my favorite. Will be played at my film. This is a lovely band. She doesn't claim to be a singer. She certainly is. Again,
Well, Mandy, here you go. A song for you.
I've sung a lot. 'cause I've made some bad runs. I've acted out my life in stages with 10,000 people watching. But we're alone now, singing this song to you. I know your image of me is what I hope to be. I treated you unkindly, but darling, can't you see? There's no one more important to me. So baby, can't you please see through me? 'Cause we're alone now, singing this song to you. You taught me precious secrets of a truth we hold in our heads. You came out in front when I was hiding. But now I'm so much better, and if my words don't come together, listen to the melody, 'cause my love is in there hiding. I love you in a place where there's no space or time. I love you for my life. You are a friend of mine. When my life is over, remember when we were together. We were alone and I singing this song to you. I love you in a place where there's no space or time. I love you for my life. You are a friend of mine. When my life is over, remember when we were together. We were alone and now I'm singing this song to you. We were alone and now I'm singing this song to you. We were alone and now I'm singing this song. Singing this song to you.
Wow, what an amazing voice, Mandy. Congratulations. Beautiful song.
Yeah, she does a great job. She's really humble about it, but I think she's got a great voice, and tickled that I was able to talk her into doing it for me.
Well, I, for one, am glad you did. Mandy, trust me, you are amazing.
She says thank you.
Cool. Well, I have one more. Let's jump into it, and then we can have some questions after. And
Sure.
all right. And it's All of Me, which is another standard of amazing song.
Yeah, this is a full group called Hotwired. This is a self-contained four-piece group. They got a guy that plays guitar and keyboard, and then, of course, bass, drums, and guitar and vocals. And one of the guitar players' name is Will Young, and this guy's a phenomenal player. You're going to hear some really terrific jazz and blues guitar licks on that, and that's Will Young, and I think he's one of the best players I've ever
Well, Wes, it's Hotwire, correct?
wired.
Hotwired and All of Me.
All of me. Why not take all of me? Can't you see I'm no good, dear, without you? Take my lips, I love to lose them. Take my arms, I've never used them. Yeah, your goodbye left me with eyes that cry. Can't you see? I can't go on, dear, without you. You took the part that once was my heart. So why not take all of me? Take all of me. Can't you see? Well, I'm no good, dear, without you. Take my lips, I'd love to lose them. Take my arms, I've never used them. Yeah, your goodbye left me with eyes that cry. Can't you see? I can't go on, dear, without you. You took the part that once was my heart. So why not take all of me? Yeah. So why not take all of me?
I see what you mean. What he kind of the guitar player reminds me a little bit of Chet Atkins with his style.
Yeah, on some of the single notes that did, which was very rare. But yeah, Will is a great guitarist and a great vocalist for mentioning that he sang.
Ah, nice. Well, we've got.
What kind of questions you got lined up for me there, bud?
We got 2 minutes, and I've looked through them, and the listeners have asked a question. I think here's one that you could probably the best is, what would be your advice to up-and-coming musicians today?
Work really hard at your craft. There, in my opinion, now this is only me talking, but I think there's an awful lot of artists that really may have a little bit of talent, but they haven't really worked out to present their talent to an audience or on record. You know, they don't really perform with a lot of enthusiasm. Does that make sense?
It does.
It's all sort of whitewashed and bland. You know, it doesn't have any fights anymore.
Right, and that's a good advice for some of the older entertainers too.
Yeah, don't get too comfortable. Work hard at your craft. Get good at it. And I mean really good. You know, there's an old saying in the firearms world that amateurs train until they get it right. Professionals train until they can't get it wrong.
Right. Well, Wes, this has been an amazing hour for me. It seems like about 10 minutes. And I really want to thank you for taking time out of your day to come and chat with me and our listeners. And
oh, man, thank you for having me.
I think we need to do this again.
Well, we should. And perhaps the next, I've been thinking about doing a volume 2 on band things, but maybe next time, if we can put it together, maybe next time I'll do a country here.
Yes.
Which would be some great country songs, too.
Awesome. Well, anyway.
I thank you very much.
I thank you very much. If you'll hang on a minute, I'm going to close the show and we'll chat after the show, okay?
Great.
All right. Thank you, man. Well, that's about it with Wes Henley, one of the most amazing entertainers and engineers, and the best of luck to him. And we will have another a segment with Wes Henley. To all my listeners out there, thank you very much for listening to the Dave Roush Show. I don't know if you know it, but my numbers are increasing every time I put a show on, and without you, it wouldn't be possible. So thank you very much, and have a great evening, and I'll see you next Monday.
Thanks for cruising along with us on the Dave Roush Show today. Don't forget to catch
Catch us every Monday, 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, cruisin'countryradio.com, where the best country music meets engaging conversations. Miss an episode? Episodes will be played on Sunday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Till next time, keep the music playing, good times rolling. See you next May on Dave Roush Show, www.cruisin'country.com. All country, all original, all the... Join the Dave Roush Show and Cruisin' Country Top 40 on Patreon. Hey country music fans, do you love discovering the hottest new tracks and exclusive behind-the-scenes content? Then you can't miss out on the Dave Roush Show and Cruisin' Country Top 40 Patreon community. By joining us on Patreon, you'll get exclusive access, be the first to hear unreleased interviews, special segments, and bonus episodes that you won't find anywhere else. Special perks: get your hands on limited edition merchandise, shout-outs on the show, and opportunities to suggest songs for our countdown. Join our Patreon today and become part of the Cruisin' Country family. Your support helps us bring you the best in country music and keeps the good vibes rolling. Let's keep cruising through the country hits together